Let them have a voice. Let them have a voice. Let them feel heard. Show your children that they have a voice that matters. Welcome back to my channel at Be the Light in Their Storm. Today we are diving in again to our lovely children and ways to better be present for them on the journey that they are on, while also healing ourselves from our own journey and past with the toxic person that we're trying to co-parent with. So there's a lot of dynamics, there's a lot of ups and downs, but it's all great stuff. So I feel like, at least based on my childhood and things I've read for others that are 30s to 50s, somewhere in that range, and possibly older, but that we were never taught to have a voice. We were always taught to only speak when spoken to. We were children. We weren't supposed to have an opinion. We were supposed to follow the masses. We were supposed to be quiet and keep our hands and feet crossed and not speak unless we were spoken to. And our opinions didn't matter, and we were judged and critiqued. And the list can go on and on and on. Children were just seen as that, children. And being that, we had no life experience, we weren't deemed as having enough of an opinion and life experience to have a voice that would mean anything. And unfortunately, that's taught a lot of us to not know how to support ourselves and be there for ourselves and speak up for ourselves when we need to. We, probably became people pleasers. We always put ourselves last when it came to addressing our own needs. And the list, again, can go on and on and on, but we were never taught to say no or say we didn't like something or agree with something, because it was met with disdain and being yelled at or being belittled, to where if you did try to speak up and have an opinion and have a voice, it was met with such negativity that we learned and taught ourselves it's not worth it. It's not worth speaking up and having an opinion or saying what we feel, because it's only going to end up making us feel bad, or it's going to be ignored, or it's going to be laughed at and ridiculed. So we were taught to stay quiet. And I feel like when you're coming out of or gone through a toxic relationship, this behavior and mentality only gets amplified, because you continue to be ignored, mocked, belittled, pushed aside, told you're never gonna amount to nothing, your opinion matters, no one wants to hear you anyway. And that negativity and that cycle of being reaffirmed that your voice doesn't matter continues. So when you finally do find part of your voice and are now on your own and out of that toxic situation, you have a chance to heal yourself and start to really find your voice and speak up for yourself and protect yourself by using your words. That you want to make sure that you give your children that same opportunity, because, as I've said before, they are still in this cycle of not being heard and being ignored and being told their opinion doesn't matter, or mocked or laughed at, and all those things are continuing, just not with you. It's continuing with your children. So the more you allow them to have a voice and feel heard and open those lines of communication with them, the more they are going to thrive. They're going to learn how to speak up for themselves and protect themselves and set their boundaries, because they're not going to be afraid to speak and stand on their own 2 feet. Where if you continue to just act as you did when you were, still in this relationship, or don't really become aware of your own actions and interactions and communication with your children, then the cycle's just going to continue. They're not going to truly learn and see that there's another side and another way that a parent-child can interact and communicate. And the more you're able to provide that for them and show them that love and support by allowing them to have a voice and speak their opinions and have a choice in a matter that affects them, the more you're providing them the ability to learn and grow, to be there for themselves, and you're giving them, again, that household that their body is going to start to crave and want, because it brings more peace and calmness to them than their bodies are probably ever been used to. And it may take a while for their systems to start to regulate and decompress and come to the level of calmness that you're providing, but they'll get there, and they're going to see it, and their souls and their bodies are going to feel it. And it will eventually, they'll start to want more of it. So you just be patient and be supportive and be loving, and the rest will fall into place. So thank you again for listening, and we'll talk soon.